Well, the championship game was incredibly exciting. Let's start at the end and work our way back. The winning play was about an 80-foot pass from Justin Johnson from Western Kentucky to a streaking Tyler Nelson from Fairfield. Just an incredible pass. I mean, granted, this is not, Grant Hill to Christian Leitner, but it was almost as long a pass as that, from one end of the court to the other for a layup to win the game, 91-90. So that was an incredible play. Both teams played pretty well in this game. There were a lot of stars who played well, but that play was incredible. I mean, it looked like K&D Rounds was gonna win it, and then you have this incredibly long pass and a made basket at the end, 2 seconds left, and Sales Systems became the champion. So there's that. So that's the end of the story. Let's go back. Tyler Nelson. This is a player who, if you look at him, would probably be in this group of players would be the last guy picked, right? If you're picking on the playground and you're choosing up sides for a 5-on-5, he'd probably be the last guy picked because he's kind of thin. He's not that bulky or muscular, and you look at him and you say that guy's probably not blindingly fast, but he can shoot the hell out of the ball, and he did that. He did that all year for Fairfield. He was 13th in the country in scoring. He averaged 22 points a game, and you saw that shooter out here tonight. He was very good in the first game here, so-so in the second game, and then very good in the third game. So he made the winning layup. That was probably the easiest shot he had all night, but he had 19 points, leading all scorers in the game, and he's a player from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Most people don't even know what that is. When they do hear the MAC, they confuse it with the Mid-American Conference in the Midwest. The Metro Atlantic Athletic does not get a lot of respect. Well, this Tyler Nelson is the real deal. Sure, he needs to gain strength and weight if he's going to play against NBA players someday. He's probably not going to be in the NBA next year, but the guy can shoot. He's really smart. He can play point guard in a pinch. He played great here. He played tremendous, and as his final moment, he makes the winning shot in the championship game. So that's pretty nice. I should mention Justin Johnson from Western Kentucky. Again, he's probably 6'7", not a real big guy. He's very muscular, very strong, and deceptively athletic. He can really jump, but he really knows how to do the things that he does very well. And he's strong enough. He showed his strength even on that game-winning play. Not everybody can get the ball accurately 80 feet in the air into the hands of a teammate, and he did. It was right on the money, and Nelson caught it in stride and made a layup, no dribble. So Justin Johnson did that. He wound up with 14 points and 6 rebounds. That's probably his least statistical of the 3 games of this week, but he played very well here, very well. And again, not everybody who plays great here is necessarily an NBA prospect in terms of a strong NBA prospect. But Johnson did very well for himself, and he's the kind of player I could see if he doesn't go for the G League, try to go through that process and get into the NBA, he could play in Europe for a very long time because he's really, really smart. He knows what to do. He's extended his range out a little bit now. There was a guy from many years ago from UNCG, North Carolina Greensboro, named Kyle Hines, and he was the same sort of player. He's an undersized, big, probably about 6'6", 6'7", just like Justin Johnson. And that guy never played a minute in the NBA. He's been on, I think, 3 EuroLeague winning teams. He's played for CSKA Moscow the last few years. Makes a pile of money, and everybody in Europe loves the guy. Everywhere he goes, the team wins big. Not just wins big, wins championships, wins cups, they call him in Europe. Kyle Hines will probably play till the wheels fall off. He could probably play another 6 years, and he's probably 32 or 3 now. Just a great story. And Justin Johnson, you see a lot of the same characteristics that Kyle Hines had when he was here many years ago. I think it was 2008 when Kyle Hines played here. So that's, it's 10 years ago. Anyway, Justin Johnson played real well. Let's see, who else should I mention? On the losing team, and again, the losing team lost by 1 point, played great, could have won the game easily. George King from Colorado. Now, if his team wins, he's probably the MVP of this PIT, but they always give the MVP to the winning team here by tradition. George King probably had the best tournament out of any player. He probably, could have gotten the MVP, and he played tremendous. I mean, George King All the things that he's doing here, he did at Colorado. The difference is he's just doing more of them. He's getting more opportunities to shoot the ball here than he did at Colorado. I looked it up tonight, and he averaged 10 field goal attempts per game, which is not that many for a star player in college. He averaged 13 this year. Here, he's getting a few more shots per game, making a high percentage, and is scoring more and rebounding more. So he was just exceptional the whole tournament. Kadeem Carrington from Seton Hall made several great plays late in the game. It could have been the hero. It was his driving layup that gave his team a 1-point lead that put them ahead only for 2 seconds, as it turned out. But they were ahead 90-89. They lost 91-90. But Carrington made a couple of great cuts off the dribble late in the game, got to the rim and scored. And he's an interesting player. He played point guard only 1 year in college at Seton Hall, still really learning the position. He was an off guard the other 3 years. He's a muscular kid. For a point guard, he's got good size. For a two guard, he's just average size. So I think we'll hear more from him. He's a very interesting player, very talented player. And lastly, from that team, Jared Terrell from Rhode Island. Very muscular player. The guy always scores by taking the ball to the basket. This week, he also made a good number of perimeter shots. So he was doing both. He was scoring inside and outside. And physically, he's the kind of guy, when he gives an effort on defense, he's really tough because he's so strong. He's 6'3", but he has the strength of a power forward. So he's a very good player, Jared Terrell from Rhode Island.